Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here. Like, I'm skin and teeth from ear to ear. That's how excited I am to have you here right now. Before I really jump into too much, first things first, I want to take a moment to shout out everyone who has recently subscribed and have watched my most recent video of my Ghana vlog and just have been showing love and all that good stuff. I've been feeling the support. That video has exceeded 1,000 views, which is a record breaker. Yeah, you know, I'm a humble, small little YouTube channel, so when y'all be doing stuff like that, it just gets me really excited. Just filling my tank. And if you are coming back, wow, like we locked in, like we friends. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so excited that you're here. If you're new to my channel, hi, I am Brandy, and I think I would like to say I'm one of your new YouTube besties. Is that too much? Am I taking it a little too far? In terms of what you can expect here, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's just what it is. I'm not trying to be put into no box when it comes to these niches, but you know, if you're down with a down-to-earth vibe, a girl who likes to travel, and just navigating this thing called life, okay? This is just a YouTube channel of a regular girl from Toronto navigating her 30s and just trying to live her best life. Point blank, period. So Trinidad 2024 has come and gone. Waistline was pelting, people were jumping, waving, all of the good things, okay? The vibes were vibing, your girl had a ball. All the other carnivals are underway, and now is the time when you're probably planning for Trinidad 2025. Right? Yeah? Maybe? Well, if you are, you've come to the right place, baby. Especially if you're Canadian, because you know how them conversions go. It ain't pretty. And I'm going to be sharing with you the numbers in terms of what I paid for my Trinidad 2024 experience. And I'm also going to try to squeeze in a little 1-2 tip here and there where I can, where it seems fitting. So in terms of like the flow of the video, I'm pretty much going to be breaking it down into a couple different categories: flight, accommodation, tickets, etc. Letting you know when I had made the arrangements for certain things, and yeah, of course, the pricing of it. And yeah, so I have my little notebook. If you see me looking down or whatever, I'm most likely editing it out to make it look more clean and professional or whatever. But if I get a little lazy with the editing, you already know what's going on. So the first thing on our list that we're going to talk about is flight. So this was the very first purchase that I made when it came to planning for my Trinidad adventure. And my flight was purchased in March of 2023 for the price of $980. This was for a round trip flight, including checked luggage, with Caribbean Airlines. If you're planning to go to Trinidad, whether you're watching this video in 2024, 2025, 2026, if there's one thing I'll tell you is this: as soon as you have the thought and you have decided in your heart that you are attending Trinidad Carnival, book your flight as soon as possible. The sooner and earlier that you book, this is the best chance you have at saving a couple dollars. When I initially filmed this video, because this is my third attempt, and I hope I look good, because I had problems with the other two. The looks was just yuck. At the time that I had originally recorded this video and had planned to put this out, which was, girl, I don't even know when that was, but the flight for a round trip was $848. I wish I got it to you sooner, baby, but I just couldn't deal with how I was looking, girl. I just could not deal with how I was looking. So we got delayed by a lot. That doesn't stop me from doing some research before filming this, you know what I'm saying? So right now, to be honest, this is when the prices start to uptick a little bit. I tried to give y'all a heads up. I really did. I'm so sorry. Lo siento, baby. But anyways, let me give you an idea of what prices are going for currently in the month of May 2024 for Trinidad 2025. If you were booking your flight from February 26th to March 3rd, round trip, Caribbean Airlines, checked luggage, leaving from Toronto, you are looking at the price of $1,015.67. So once again, if this is something that you're planning to do, I suggest booking your flight as early as possible, as soon as they drop. I think you can probably get a flight for like $650, $700 if you're planning effectively. This is direct flight, so no layovers and all the extra jazz. So just something to put in your mind for your planning. Book your flight. Don't wait on your flight. Don't think the price is gonna drop. Nothing. You should know better than that. Okay? That ain't a thing. Okay? Because some of you will end up paying $2,000 for your one look-up flight. So if you're planning to go for 2025, don't play. Don't play games. Book your flight. I'm just saying. Okay, so you've gotten your flight, you know you're going. The next thing you gotta make sure is that you got somewhere to stay, okay? So that brings us to the second topic and the second purchase that was made, which is regarding accommodation. So let me tell you something. Accommodation, baby, expensive, okay? Expensive, all right? Accommodation was the #1 most expensive item on this entire list. We stayed at a boutique hotel called the Chancellor Hotel. Ain't nothing special about this place, okay? Ain't nothing special about this place, okay? They're doing their little renovations and stuff like that, but I just gotta say that before I say what I'm about to say. But some good things that I can say about the Chancellor is the location is on point. It's very close to a lot of things, walking distance from a grocery store and all those different stuff, and getting like to distribution centers and stuff like that. Very close because it's on St. Anne's Road and you're in Port of Spain. So location wise, on point. And they have a pool. Staff was cool too. Anyways, let's get to the point. So for accommodation, once again, I'm going to talk Canadian numbers because between the USD and the TT and we were dealing with 3 conversions when it came to the planning, organizing, and the payment of accommodation. It was a lot. So I'm just going to give you an estimate of what I paid, and that was roughly somewhere around $2,000, okay? So per person. 3 people. Okay? Just think about that for a moment. $6 grand for a room. Yeah. Painful to think about, but that's what you're dealing with when it comes to Trinidad Carnival. Like, it's not a game. Like, one thing you can expect is that prices will, I won't even say double, maybe triple per night. Accommodation can be very difficult and it can be very expensive. When you are starting to do your research and, you know, trying to book hotels and stuff like that, you will see that a lot of them don't even show availability online. That's because they're blocking that calendar off to do their carnival packages. The prices, like I said, they're pretty much triple per night. So a lot of these hotels, they're going to have packages available, so you'll probably have to reach out to them directly. You won't be able to just book it online. So you either have to call, email, whatever the situation might be, and they'll be able to give you the carnival packages and quotes. One thing that I can say is that despite it being hella expensive, they do have some sort of payment plan available. Most hotels will, where you would have to put a deposit, and there's usually about 3 other payments leading up to that, depending on when in the year you're purchasing or booking. So that's something that I will put out there. So you can expect to pay roughly around $2 grand or so. You know, there is definitely ways to work around this as well. If you're staying for a certain amount of time, you're staying for a shorter duration, if you have family or friends who have family, these are all factors that can play a part in cutting costs as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. I played mass with Yuma and I did a backline costume with no add-ons, and this came up to the price of $1,130. When you're purchasing your costume package, this of course includes both Carnival Monday and Tuesday, drinks included, food included, etc. Security, washrooms, blah, 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 etc., 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 okay? So yes, that was for a backline costume, no additional add-ons. This year I did not do wings, and I am happy that I did that. If you want to do the full extra stuff, like if you want to get a backpack, you're looking at paying probably an extra $500. So now is the time when some of the band launches are going to start taking place. So I had booked my costume or drop my deposit in June, and when you are doing this, you can do payment plans, so you don't have to drop the entire thing at the same time. Sometimes they allow you to pre-book with a deposit, and then you're just making your gradual payments, with the deadline being around like December 31st or something like that for you to have the whole thing paid off. So you got your flight, you got somewhere to lay your head at night, you got your little costume, you know who you're jumping up with. Now this is where you really start to fill up your calendar and your itinerary with what's going on, okay, leading up to the grand event, okay? So we are now going to talk about the events. We're going to be talking about all the different fêtes, Juve, etc. Before I really jump into this, something I will mention is when it comes to Trinidad events and events in the Caribbean in general, this is where you're more likely going to get this experience. They range. So there are all-inclusive events where drinks are included, food is included. These are definitely going to be a lot more costly for that reason, but You book your ticket and you just gotta get to the destination, alright? You don't gotta worry about nothing else. Then you have your drinks inclusive events. So your ticket would include unlimited drinks and food you will have to figure out. There's usually like vendors, if not at the event, outside of the event. So there's that. Girl, catch your breath. God damn. What the hell? The third of the categories is cooler fetes. So cooler fetes is where you get your little cooler, whether it's one of them real sturdy ones or a reusable styrofoam one, and you just bring whatever it is that you're planning on drinking for the event. All right, so those tickets are going to be a lot more cheaper due to the fact that you're taking care of everything else. All right, I'm going to be talking about the events based on when the tickets were dropped, so that way you have an idea of when you can expect these events to drop if they are on your radar. Okay, all right, so first things first, we are going to talk about the first ticket that we purchased, which is also the most expensive of the bunch, and that is Soca Brainwash. So if you know Soca Brainwash, you know. If you don't know Soca Brainwash is an all-inclusive event, very well known. This is one of those Hunger Game tickets where when the ticket drops, sites are crashing. You end up from one tier, early bird, to a second tier, to third tier, which is definitely our case. But it is vibes. There's usually a theme where people dress up, costume, colors. This past year, the theme was Western Story, West Side Story, Western something. So just think cowboys, fringe, cowboy hats, cowboy boots, etc. That ticket dropped in September, and in USD, by the time we got through, it was $231.99. So this is probably maybe the second, maybe even the third tier. I can't remember, child. I just remember it was chaos. And when we convert that into Canadian, you ready? When it came down to the Canadian conversion of the Soca Brainwash ticket, it was $327.59. One thing I will say about Soca Brainwash though, I had a time. I was sweating, but that just tells you. Listen, if you're paying $327, whatever amount, you better be eating all the food. You better be dancing from beginning to end. Indulge. You paid for it. Indulge. The month of October, that's when bare tickets decided to drop. October was pain. October was stress. October was, I'm drowning, I can barely keep up because tickets are just dropping, and it was just chaotic. So these were the events that dropped in October. I can't remember the exact timelines of when they all dropped, but they were within that 4-week time period. The first thing that I have written down here is AM Beach. This is a great event as well. It is at Maracas Beach. It is an all-inclusive event, so drinks, food, people are in their beach wear, you have your live performances. It's just vibes. It's just vibesy. I'm pretty sure AM Beach was the second ticket that we purchased, and this was for $150 USD, and when we convert that to Canadian dollars, that was $226.02. So this was after taxes and processing fees or whatever. So yeah. Another event that we have purchased was Punchy. I think it was closer to one of the later events that we purchased, but Punchy is on the Carnival Wednesday. It is a cooler fete event, but they do have a drinks inclusive ticket option as well. So this is mostly performances, and our ticket was $60 USD because we did the cooler option, which then converts to $88.15. A next event that we had attended and purchased our ticket in October for was Sun Nation Sunrise, which is a breakfast fete, all inclusive. This is the nice vibrant one with the flowers on the ceiling, outdoors. Like they have a little fixture, shaded, semi-shaded fixture situation where there's flowers on the roof. They hand out the fans, they hand out the umbrellas. But yeah, the food, they got some good food options. The drinks were good too. Setup was cute. It was beautiful. You know what I'm talking about. You've probably seen it. If you're on the scene like that, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, this event was the second most expensive event to attend, but it is an all-inclusive event as well. So in terms of pricing, I do not have the US number here, but we paid $295.28 Canadian. Yeah, we did that. The last ticket or package, I guess you can say, that was purchased in the month of October was Caesar's Army Ambush. Listen, let me tell you something. One thing about me, I love me a Juve. That is my stuff right now. Okay, that is my stuff right there. Okay, I always have a ball when it comes to Juve events. Ambush is a Juve alternative. where you go out to a racetrack in the middle of nowhere, in the bush, basically. And it's all-inclusive drinks. They do feed you in the beginning, and I think there's food at the end. So Ambush was $185 USD, which converted to $283.20. Yep. Moving on, so in November, 2 tickets were purchased in this time. We have Tri-Big Night, which is a drinks inclusive event and just back-to-back performances. I always have a ball at Tri-Big Night. Personally, I love Tri-Big Night. It's one of my favorite events, and that ticket was $100 USD, which converted to $148.26 Canadian. The next ticket that was purchased was for Red Ants. So Red Ants is a Juve band. This is when you are out at like 3 a.m. and you're just fetting with the paint and powder until the sun comes up, and it's just vibes. Once again, like I said, Juve is my cup of tea. Yeah. Red Ants Juve was $129 USD, and that converted to $180 Canadian. This also includes some sort of breakfast, which nothing really exciting. It was like doubles or whatever, and yeah, paint, powder, you get your shirt, your little cape, and whatever the theme is, you get the accessories. That brings us to our final ticket, which was purchased in January, and this was Scorch Mag's Duckwork DDI. This is a cooler fete boat cruise vibe. This was a good time too. This event was where I think this was the first time I had punch-in.
I'm not a cow. I'm not the
And baby, don't ask me no questions. I had fun though, nonetheless. Duckwork was $75 USD, and that converted to $110.99. When we add up all of the events, it brings us to a total of $1,659.49. Yeah. But once again, you have the control of what events that you want to go to, so there are ways to work around this. You ain't gotta go to all of these events, okay? Our feet were hot. Our feet were hot, okay? You ain't gotta do all of that. You ain't gotta do all of that. You definitely gotta do a Juve. If there's one thing I'll say, you definitely gotta do a Juve. Other than that, you can kind of mix and match, do what you please. You can find ways to cut them costs. When it comes to transportation, I do not have a number for you. We primarily use TT ride shares throughout our stay. We did not hire a driver, and we were splitting the costs, or, you know, different people were taking care of it at different times. And then, you know, sometimes I'd pay with my card on the app, sometimes I'd pay it in cash. So the numbers for transportation, baby, I ain't got that for you. I ain't got that. One thing I will say is that it does add up. So just have a healthy amount aside for transportation. But moving on. So the total amount that was paid for my Trinidad Carnival experience, this is excluding food, this is excluding clothes, this is excluding hair, this is excluding all that stuff, okay? The amount that was paid was $5,769.48. $5,769.48. So when you calculate all that other stuff, it was definitely over $6 grand. Baby, that's what you're working with, okay? That's what you're working with. This ain't a game. This ain't no joke. As I like to tell people, if you're gonna do Carnival, it's not for the weak and it's not for the cheap. And baby, I am cheap, okay? Blood, sweat, and tears went to this. But best believe, I got my money's worth. Okay, do not go paying all that money just to be stushed. It don't make no sense. The thing I can tell you about Carnival, the one thing you ain't gotta worry about is alcohol. Okay, because it's gonna be everywhere. It's included in every damn ticket, basically, with the exception of coolers. But you bring what you want. So alcohol is never gonna be a concern for you if you're going to Carnival. That's one thing I can say for that. But yeah, those are my numbers. Like I said, there are ways to kind of cut costs. The earlier you book your ticket, if you have friends or family or someone that you can stay with out there, that can definitely help as well. You can choose what events you really want to go to. Maybe have your top priority events that you want to go to, so that way you can have more time to maybe take part in some of the local experiences, sightsee, etc. So there are ways to still cut costs. It doesn't necessarily have to cost you $5,000–$6,000, but it's gonna be a couple thousand. It's gonna be a couple thousand. Unless you got family up there or something, it's gonna be a couple thousand. It just is what it is. Also, if you are planning to go to Carnival for your first time, whether it's Trinidad, Barbados, Grenada, wherever, and you're not really sure where to start, but you got your money, you know what I'm saying? Another option is a concierge service. So a concierge service that we used in 2020 was Soca Islands, reputable company. I had a great experience with them. And basically a concierge service is a company that takes care of all your needs outside of the flight. Once you have your flight figured out, they take care of your accommodation, they take care of your costume, including pickup and drop off, transportation, everything's included except for, like I said, flight and your meals outside of the all-inclusive events. Basically all you got to do is pay your amount, and you can usually do that like on a monthly basis or something like that. So that's another option for you. There are a couple of them out there. Just make sure that you do your research if this is something that you look into. I had an experience with Soca Islands. I'll include the link in the bio, and that is one company that I would use again if it came down to it. So definitely check them out. If you connect with them, you know, let Roger and them know Brandy sent you. Let them know Brandisha sent you, you know what I'm saying? I don't get anything out of it, but you know, it's just word of mouth. It's always nice. So that concludes my Carnival pricing breakdown slash planning timeline tips whatever video. If there's anything that surprised you with this information, highlight it for me down below. If you have any tips that you want to share with other people, like I said, comment down below, you know what I'm saying? If you enjoyed this video, click that like. If you enjoyed me, click that subscribe. I'm trying to get to 200, baby. Is you gonna help me do that? It's only one click, it's free. You know what I'm saying? Help a sister out. I hope you enjoyed your time here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you once again for your time. God bless, and see you next time. Bye.